Whenever. Yay! Lights and camera and action. We're live, guys, in another episode of The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Listen, y'all, I don't know where this is going, but it's getting good. We got if you guys didn't catch last week's, we had this couple here, Myra and Edgar, and they were talking about some stuff about, their money blueprint and how some things matched, some things didn't. We had Andrea sharing some stuff with us too. We had my husband who was MIA the whole time because I don't know. He was I don't know, but it got good. It got really good. So guys, today we have new faces. We have John here, and what is it? It's Macaw, right? Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah. And then we have Amber, who I absolutely love. She's in Key West, y'all, and y'all need to connect to her page because she's constantly always posting stuff that makes me hungry, makes me want to go on vacation. Like, she lives a vacation. I love having you. Thank you, Amber. So we're going to go ahead and go down the line so you guys can introduce yourselves, and our publics can be out there and just kind of get to know you guys a little bit more. So I'm just going to go ahead and go down the line according to what it is that I see here. We've got first Amber. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Amber, honey.
Well, hello. I'm so happy to be here. Yes, I'm Amber Debevic, which is a interesting name to try to pronounce, and I am in Key West, Florida. I'm a mind-trepreneur. That's my new thing. I'm an entrepreneur on a mind trip, I guess. I can't stop doing personal development and mindset, development. So I'm a big studier and practitioner of all of the practitioners like Napoleon Hill and T Harv Eker, like we're studying here. So I'm super excited to be here, and I have a millionaire mind.
Yes, you do, girl. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. And she has a hangout on Saturday mornings, which sometimes I'm on if I can hop on there with her as well. I love it, guys. It gets so good. So many people on there. You guys have to connect as well onto that. So we'll go ahead. Thank you so much for being here, Amber. And we'll go ahead and scooch on to Andrea. Andrea Rich, you go ahead and introduce yourself, honey.
Hey, I'm Andrea Ritchie, and I am a personal development junkie, and I love this hangout. It kind of lets me bring everything that I've been learning all together in one spot, and it's just so great to connect with other people who you can learn from and kind of have your same vibration.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you for being here, Andrea. And Andrea she just started a board on Pinterest for our Millionaire Mindset book club, which is totally cool. I love it. I haven't really mastered Pinterest yet, but Andrea's got it. So if you have anything that you would like to post on it, go ahead. We want to get this thing viral. We want to get as many people on the panel as we can and really help them in terms of just mindset and have them thrive in their businesses. Thank you, Andrea. Love you, girl. Thank you for what you're doing on Pinterest, girl. You go, girl. You rock. Thank you. And now we have here John McCall. Go ahead and introduce yourself, John. He was supposed to be here with his wife today, but she's out doing her nails and stuff. She's getting her nails did. That's what John said. He was talking ebonics.
That's right. Well, like I said, my name is John McCaw, and I have been in the marketing arena for, well, if you want to be technical, probably about 20 years. I got into it right after high school and then kind of got delusioned about it, and so I'm back in now. I'm about 2 years now, and I've learned so much just with the whole improving yourself and reading books and just knowing that your words are absolutely so powerful in what you speak.
That is so true. I'm excited to hear what you have to say because every time you go out there and you start to talk and I see your videos and stuff on the internet, I'm like, oh my gosh, he has so much value, he has so much to share. And the messages that you send me and stuff, thank you, they're so uplifting. He always helps me out with a lot of my stuff, like all this techie stuff that I don't know. He's like, did you know that you, anyways, but it's good to work with you, John. Thank you for being here. It's good to have you here, John, and I can't wait for Jessica to be on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Thank you. And next we have here our Puerto Rican power couple, Myra and Edgar. And go ahead and introduce yourselves, y'all. I absolutely love these two guys. If you're into, like the personal development and also you want to become an entrepreneur, but you don't understand a lick of word we're saying and you're here somehow, you got here because you like us, go ahead and connect with them because they speak it all in Spanish. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, Myra and Edgar. Thank you.
Hello, hello. I'm Edgar, and yeah, we love being in this hangout. We learn so much, and it prepares your mind every day to have a plan each day and progress. And that's the idea. We're in this life not just to live it, but to progress on it. And well, we have a means to do it, different books and different readings. But in particular, this book will really, really help you focus your mind on your business. So if you want to improve not only in life, but also in your business, well, read this book with us and pay attention to what we're saying.
Yay, he speaks better than me. This time he started to speak. That's why I just said, go first, because he always claimed that I don't let him speak. But I'm very, very excited to be with you guys every Tuesday. For me, this is one of my busiest day of the week because I have several activities started with you guys. And the best way that we started the activities with this hangout. Even that we normally, we market in English, but most of the things we do is more Spanish, like Xabelina says. And we have a presentation and things with the team. And for this, it's like we are charging us just to get through the whole night with the whole activity that we have.
That's so true. Thank you for being here. They're so right, guys. You really have to kind of stop and just really replenish your mind. Sometimes it's just go, 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 do, and you neglect this up here. You run out of mojo, man. I'm telling you. So I'm glad that I have this hangout that you guys are able to just kind of rejuvenate your brains and keep going for the day and really provide value for those who are depending on us. If you're an entrepreneur, you're a leader, and people depend on you, So anyways, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump into it. And I do the reading here. If anybody would ever like to step up and start to read, y'all are more than welcome to. I'm just saying. But I'm just going to go ahead and do this, okay? So let's go and jump into a screen share. And let's see. What page were we on last time? Let me see. 6 of 81. I think it was 30. Let's see. It was like 35, right, y'all?
It's a 40, I think.
Okay.
40, but it should be in the PDF 48.
48? Is that how far we are?
Yeah. Well, the title is So What Is Your Money Blueprint Set For?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did. We read all this. Uh-huh. Yep. You're so right, my little Puerto Rican princess. Okay. All right, so let's do this. So last week we said I released my non-supportive money experiences from the past and create a new and rich future. And basically he was just talking about how he was raised, how his wife was raised, and how you can just create your own money blueprint. You don't have to do what it is that you remember seeing when you grew up. So he said the only problem that him and his wife had was their money blueprint. So they got that out of the way, and they're happy-go-lucky. I'm sure it's not perfect, but anyway. So let's go ahead and go into this. So what is your money blueprint set for? That's a good question, T Harv. Okay, so now, can y'all see that? Do you want me to just kind of? Yeah, I'm a little blind. Let me make it bigger. Okay, so now it's time to answer the million-dollar question. What is your current money and success blueprint, and what results is it subconsciously moving you towards? Are you set for success mediocrity, or financial failure? Are you programmed for struggle or for ease around money? Are you set for working hard for your money or working in balance? Are you conditioned for having a consistent income or an inconsistent income? You know the scoop. First, you have it, then you don't, then you have it, then you don't. It always appears as though the reasons for these drastic fluctuations come from the outside world. For instance, I got a great paying job, but then the company folded. Then I started my own business and things were booming, but the market dried up. My next business was doing super, but then my partner left, etc. Blah, 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 right? So don't be fooled. This is your money blueprint at work. Are you set for having a high income, a moderate income, or a low income? Did you know there are actual dollar amounts for which many of us are programmed? Are you set for earning $20,000 to $30,000 a year? $40,000 to $60,000? $75,000 to $100,000? $150,000 to $200,000? $250,000 a year or more? A few years ago, I had an unusually well-dressed gentleman in the audience during one of my 2-hour evening seminars. When the seminar was complete, he came over and asked if I thought the 3-day Millionaire Mind course could do anything for him, considering that he was already earning $500,000 a year. I asked him how long he'd earned that kind of money, and he responded, consistently for about 7 years now. That was all I needed to hear. I asked him why he wasn't earning $2 million a year. I told him that the program was for people who want to reach their full financial potential, and asked him to consider why he was stuck at $500,000. He decided to come to the program. I got an email from him a year later that said the program was incredible, but I made a mistake. I only reset my money blueprint to earn the $2 million a year, as we discussed. I'm already there. So I'm attending the course again to reset it for earning $10 million a year, y'all. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, so the point I want to make is that the actual amounts don't even really matter. What matters is whether you are reaching your full financial potential. I know many of you might be asking, why on earth would anyone need that kind of money? Ooh, you know, I'm gonna say something about that later. I've got something to say about that. Okay, so first, that very question is not overly supportive to your wealth and is a sure sign that you'll want to revise your money blueprint. Second, the main reason this gentleman wanted to earn massive amounts of money was to support his work as a huge donor to a charity that assists AIDS victims in Africa. So much for the belief that rich people are greedy, huh? Isn't that a slap in the face? Okay, so let's go on. Are you programmed for saving money or for spending money? Are you programmed for managing your money well or mismanaging it? Are you set for picking winning investments or picking losers? You might wonder, how could whether or not I make money in the stock market or in real estate be part of my blueprint? Simple. Who picks the stock or the property? You do. Who picks when you buy it? You do. Who picks when you sell it? You do. I guess you've gotten something to do with the question. You feel me? Okay, so I have an acquaintance in San Diego named Larry. Larry is a magnet when it comes to making money. He definitely has a high income blueprint, but he has the kiss of death when it comes to investing his money. Whatever he buys drops like a rock. Would you believe his dad had the same exact problem? Duh! I keep in close touch with Larry so I can ask him for investment advice. It is always perfect. Perfectly wrong. Whatever Larry suggests, I go the other way. I love Larry. He was so funny. No, he didn't. Okay, so on the other hand, notice how other people seem to have what we termed earlier the Midas touch. Everything they get involved with turns to gold. Both the Midas touch and the kiss of death syndromes are nothing more than the manifestations of money blueprints. Once again, your money blueprint will determine your financial life and even your personal life. If you are a woman whose money blueprint is set for low, chances are you will attract a man who is also set for low so that you can stay in your financial comfort zone and validate your blueprint. Oh, So, if you are a man who is set for low, chances are that you will attract a woman who is a spender and gets rid of all your money so you can stay in your financial comfort zone and validate your blueprint. Most people believe the success of their business is primarily dependent on their business skills and knowledge, or at least their timing of the marketplace. I hate to be the one to break it to you, but that's la la land, which is another way of saying not a chance. How well your business does is a result of your money blueprint. You will always validate your blueprint. If you have a blueprint that is set for earning $100,000 a year, that's exactly how well the business will do, enough to earn you about $100,000 a year. If you are a salesperson and your blueprint is set for earning $50,000 a year, and somehow you make a huge sale that makes you $90,000 that year, either the sale will cancel, or if you do end up with $90,000, get ready for a crummy year to follow to make up for it and bring you back to the level of your financial blueprint. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so on the other hand, if you're set for earning $50,000 and you've been in a slump for a couple of years, don't worry. You'll get it all back. You have to. It's the subconscious law of the mind and money. Someone in this position would probably walk across the street, get hit by a bus, and end up with exactly $50,000 a year in insurance. It's simple. One way or another, if you're set for $50,000 a year, eventually that is what you will get. Oof. Oh my goodness, if this ain't good. Okay, so again, how can you tell what your money blueprint is set for? One of the most obvious ways is to look at your results. Look at your bank account. Look at your income. Look at your net worth. Look at your success with investments. Look at your business success. Look at whether you're a spender or a saver. Look at whether you manage money well. Look at how consistent or inconsistent you are. Look at how hard you work for your money. Look at your relationships that involve money. Is money a struggle, or does it come to you easily? Do you own a business, or do you have a job? Do you stick with one business or job for a long time, or do you jump around a lot? Your blueprint is like a thermostat. If the temperature in the room is 72 degrees, chances are good that the thermostat is set for 72 degrees. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Oh, I'm sorry, as if it weren't interesting enough already. Oh, excuse me. This is the interesting part, y'all. Okay, so now here's where it gets interesting. Is it possible that because the window is open and it is cold outside, the temperature in the room can drop to 65 degrees? Of course. But what will eventually happen? The thermostat will kick in and bring in the temperature back to 72. Also, is it possible that because the window is open and it's hot outside, the temperature in the room can go up to 77 degrees? Sure it could, but what will eventually happen? The thermostat will kick in and bring the temperature back to 72. The only way to permanently change the temperature in the room is to reset the thermostat, okay? So in the same way, the only way to change your level of financial success permanently is to reset your financial thermostat, otherwise known as your money blueprint. And here's the wealth principle. I like to take a screenshot and throw that sucker on social media. The only way to permanently change the temperature in the room is to reset the thermostat, dodo brain. So in the same way, the only way to change your level of financial success permanently is to reset your financial thermostat. So we got a thermostat, y'all. Let's reset it. Because ain't nobody got time to be making no $30,000, $50,000 a year. Okay, so you can try anything and everything else you want. You can develop your knowledge in business and marketing, in sales, in negotiations, and even in management. You can become an expert in real estate or the stock market. All of these are tremendous tools. But in the end, without an inner toolbox that is big enough and strong enough for you to create and hold on to large amounts of money, all the tools in the world will be useless to you. Once again, it's simple arithmetic. Your income can grow only to the extent that you do. Fortunately or unfortunately, your personal money and success blueprint will tend to stay with you for the rest of your life, unless you identify it and you change it. And that is exactly what we will continue to do in part 2 of this book, and do even further with you at the Millionaire Mind Intensive Seminar. We got to go to one of those. Okay, so remember, imagine we go and we take videos and pictures. That'd be so fun. Okay, so remember that the first element of all change is awareness. Watch yourself. Become conscious. Observe your thoughts, your fears, your beliefs, your habits, your actions, and even your inactions. Put yourself under a microscope. Study yourself. Most of us believe that we live our lives based on choice. Not usually. Even if we're really enlightened, we might make a few choices during the average day that reflect our awareness of ourselves in the present moment. But for the most part, we're like robots running on automatic, ruled by our past conditioning and old habits. That's where consciousness comes in. Consciousness is observing your thoughts and actions so that you can live from true choice in the present moment rather than being run by programming from the past. There's another wealth principle. Love it. By achieving consciousness, we can live from who we are today rather than who we were yesterday. In this way, we can respond appropriately to situations, tapping the full range and potential of our skills and talents rather than inappropriately reacting to events driven by the fears and insecurities of the past. Oh my goodness, where's my highlighter? I gotta highlight that sucker. Okay, so once you are conscious, you can see your programming for what it is. Simply a recording of information that you received and believed in the past when you were too young to even know any better. You can see that this conditioning is not who you are, but who you learned to be. You can see that you are not the recording, but the recorder. You are not the content in the glass, but the glass itself. Shine, baby, shine. You are not the software, but the hardware. Yes, genetics may play a role, and yes, spiritual aspects may come into play, but much of what shapes who you are comes from other people's beliefs and information. As I suggested earlier, beliefs are not necessarily true or false or right or wrong, but regardless of their validity, beliefs are opinions that are passed around and then down from generation to you. Knowing this, you can consciously choose to release any belief or way of being that is not supportive to your wealth, and you can replace it with one that is. In our courses, we teach that. We teach that no thought lives in our head rent-free. Each thought that you have will either be an investment or a cost. It will either move you toward happiness and success or away from it. It will either empower you or disempower you. That's why it is imperative that you choose your thoughts and beliefs wisely. Realize that your thoughts and beliefs aren't who you are, and they are not necessarily attached to you. As precious as you believe them to be, they have no more importance and meaning than you give them. Nothing has meaning except for the meaning you give it. Ooh, oh my goodness. Nothing has meaning except for the meaning that you give it. Wait, y'all need to tweet that. Okay, so recall how at the beginning of this book I suggested that you don't believe a word I say. Do y'all remember that? Oh yes, in the beginning he was like, I don't want y'all to believe a word that I say. Just, whatever you take, and whatever you don't, you don't. Okay, so if you really want to take off in your life, don't believe a word you say. And if you want instant enlightenment, don't believe a thought that you think. Meanwhile, if you're like most people, you're going to believe something. So you might as well adopt beliefs that support you, rich beliefs. Yeah. Remember, thoughts lead to feelings, which lead to actions, which lead to results. You can choose to think and act like rich people do, and therefore create the results that rich people create. The question is, how do rich people think and act? That is exactly what you'll discover in part 2 of this book. If you want to change your financial life forever, then you best read on. Okay, so declaration, we're going to do this a little later, so I'm just going to go ahead and go back to my Hangout and see what y'all has to say is about that. Am I back? Can y'all see me? Hey, y'all. Oh my goodness.
We do.
Good. What did you guys think about that? Let's go ahead and start with Myra and Edgar. What'd you think? That was good.
Apparently, Maida wants me to talk first. Well,
oh my goodness, because you're the one with the good English, Dito.
Bad English. But you know what? Because I have a millionaire mind, I don't care how I speak English as long as it makes money.
Yes. Where are my Google effects?
You see? Well, anyway, if you can understand me, or no matter what I sound like in English, you better understand the message that the author is trying to say here. And the message of the author is simple. Don't be limited by your money thermostat. In fact, set it very high. Don't put limitations to yourself. Whenever you start putting limitations to yourself, that's the only goal you're going to reach. It's not bad to reach or to have little goals each day, but I mean, stretch them as soon as you can. Make them make them farther. Make them higher, because we all have the potential to achieve our goals. And again, we are human beings, right? But nobody wants us to fail. So that's why we must have high goals. If we want to make most of ourselves, we don't only put goals for our lives. I have a goal to go to the supermarket, and I have a goal to clean the house. Well, do have a goal to make a lot of money too, because that's what you want. Maya.
Okay. Well, I think one of the things that I just have to say for this is that sometimes we are we measure ourselves very, very hard sometimes, but at the same time we start to question what is the reason that I don't make this goal, or what is the reason that I don't complete something in what, because normally like the average of people having failure, but they don't think it's like a roller coaster, and they don't think what is the important things that get them up and then getting down. And when the people start to think about maybe it's the past that they maybe raised us, that we have to make like a switch and reset again. And another thing is to find out what in it specific you getting to that point and level that you're getting high and maintaining consistency. Because when most of the people, when they start, for example, getting money, and they see themselves that they, oh, now I can, I able to be relaxed. I able to be, because I'm in this level of financial that I find out a good way, but suddenly they starting to get deeper. And that is the reason when you start to change your things that get you to this point, that is the reason that you start to fail, and that is the reason that you have to change the way and reset and think about it of what is your plan. I don't know, make sense?
It did make sense to me.
I agree. I agree 100%. What did you guys think of that part where he said, there's a part that says, let me see, what matters is whether you are reaching, blah, blah, blah. I know many of you might be asking, why on earth would anyone need that kind of money? I know, do you guys know of anybody, like when you start to talk to them about money and, you mention either 100,000s or even millions, they're just like, cricket.
Oh, that's evil. That's evil.
That's evil, or that is not supposed to, and that is not good, because the people that think about that, they don't think that, they think that there's a negative behind,
connotation behind,
because you're not supposed to be ambition on the kind of things that you wanted. But at the same time, I remember one of our mentors that in one of the events that we went, he said, why do people start to thinking that money is bad? Because if you have if you're successful and if you have money, if something happened to your family, you're the one that's gonna be able to help them. You're the one that's gonna be able to take to cover that situation. For example, somebody suddenly passed away. That is very expensive. And can you believe it that many people of the family doesn't have money to cover that kind of circumstance? That is a normal thing. And the thing is that maybe we are able to start to make the change to this kind of hangout, to show them that it's not something us, that is there's a lot of people, entrepreneur, successful people like he is, to writing this for the experience and teach us, and we want to teach them, everybody that is see us, how is the different mindset that they able to provide more benefit for everybody. Because we start to question, oh, what is that the world is getting bad, or every day is worse, but what happened of your portion of change? What happened of your portion of to be better, or implement some thoughts that at the end give you some change around you,
I'm gonna throw a little thought out there, and Mayra kind of mentioned it. Is it bad to have ambitions? It's not bad to have ambitions. That's how you make goals. Is it bad to be ambitious? Well, yeah. If ambition fills your heart and that's all you have in it, well, that's gonna be bad. Having ambitions is not bad. Being ambitious is. Now, another thing that was mentioned in the book, and I see this in a lot of people with money. Who do you think that gives to charities? Isn't it not people with money? Usually the large amounts come from people with money. Everybody else may give an amount too, based on what they have, right? But people with money do give large amounts because they can. Why? Oh, don't tell me you don't want to do that. Don't tell me if you have good money in your account, you won't give it away to charities. You will do it too. Why? because you can and you'll be able to. So there's, the worst thing that can happen out there, it's envy rather than ambition. Envy will lead someone that thinks that someone has money. That envy will hold that person back. The envious person will be held back and will not reach possible goals or ambitions that person should have.
I wonder where that envy comes from. You think it's a money blueprint, Andrea? You have something to say to that, honey bunny?
Well, the other day, there was this whole thing in the newspaper, and it was talking about how a local college had sold some land and somebody had bought it. And a bunch of people were talking about it, and they were all pissed off that these people bought this land. But at the same time, they were still mad that somebody would have the money to buy that land. And it was kind of like, you're mad that somebody else bought it because of what they could do with it, but yet you do not want to have the money to give you the option to buy it, to preserve it, to do what you want with it.
I see. Yeah, that's true.
And like it seems like such a mixed message. Like, you want it, but you don't want anybody to have it or do anything with it.
It's like, yeah, you know what I mean. I think it's like what he was saying about taking action in terms of making the money, but also looking deep within. I think that's a matter of really searching the heart. Just like the whole envy conversation, it's a matter of searching the heart. John, what would you like to add to that?
Well, what I kind of got out of that was, he's basically saying, we're the glass container, and what we put inside that glass container is what we are for that time. And if we aren't happy with that, then you need to learn how to replace those things that you're not happy with in that container. One of the things I'm a Christian and I read my Bible, and one of the things it reminded me of is the prayer of Jabez, where it actually says, teach me how to expand my coastlines or my horizons. And that there is really relative to how what he's saying there in the chapter we read is, if you want to make more, you have to learn how to accept more, how to give more, really. Our words, they repel, they attract. There's no neutral in anything that we say. And I've recently been really paying attention more to how my words are affecting my outcomes. For instance, you don't say the word can't, you don't say the word try, and there's some other iterations that you can say that, subconsciously you're thinking, oh, well, that's not going to really happen. So you have to really think about, what am I saying, and what is my heart ultimately saying to others and to yourself?
Yeah, that's basically what he was saying. He was like, in other words, stop talking to yourself, and stop talking to other people for right now, because unless you don't got, unless you don't have like a good money blueprint, just It's so funny. Amber, would you like to add to that, honey bunny dear?
Sure. Just listening to everybody and really enjoying this, because you know what, I've had the audios of this book for about 10 years, I think. I don't even know if I read anymore. I just listen to audios all the time, but the audios are great because just, the fluctuations in his voice and everything. And so he was talking about getting it, because when we were reading it, I was like, oh my God, how do you reset your blueprint, I've listened to this book 100 times, and I've even signed up to go to the seminars. They come through, like they'll go to Miami, but I never actually went. You know what? No wonder my blueprint has been off, because in part 2 he talks about how rich people think, how rich people act, you know, and there's one part in there that talks about, and I'm always in denial about it. It says, "Are you turned off by salespeople?" He talks about that, and you know, and I have a big, you know, I'm a salesperson, of course, and so I think, oh no, I struggle with that one because I have always been turned off by salespeople, and I've always tried not to be one, but that's probably affecting my financial blueprint because, like I said, I've signed up, you know, to go to the Millionaire Mind seminar, and then I don't go because I think, oh, they're going to try to sell me something. It's free, you know. Why are they hooking me in there with a free seminar? And then they're going to, you know, I know they're going to just, you know, give me that hook in there and whipping out my credit card and $1,000, $2,000, you know. And I know that, and I'm sure that's what's going to happen, but I shouldn't be afraid of it, you know, or turned off by it. But I did allow it to turn me off, and then I didn't go to the seminar. I think I've done that twice now. So the next time, I'm going to force myself to go to because he really doesn't tell you in the book how to change the blueprint. He tells you, you know, how other rich people think, how rich people act, how they are and everything. But and he even mentions it in the book that you need to come to the seminar, you know, to find out the secret. And but I do think that it totally ties into, like I said, I study Napoleon Hill, and I don't want to, you know, conflict our things here, but he mentioned in there, you know, changing your thoughts and also changing your emotions that are attached to the thoughts. And that's part of one of Napoleon Hill's success principles, which would be the one we just studied, controlled attention, where we're controlling our thoughts, and then also definite major purpose, which is the first principle by Napoleon Hill, talks about having a goal. You know, it's all about changing your thoughts and having that, your purpose, your definite major purpose and your goal, you know, in your mind, concentrating on those thoughts, but the key is attaching emotions to them. So I think that must be part of the key here on changing our financial blueprint is shifting the emotions that are attached to the thoughts. Because if you think about, like, how do I think, when they were reading that, you know, it was like, are you at 20,000 blueprint, 30,000? I started going like this, like, oh my God. I started, you know, like, I realized, you know, where my blueprint has been stuck, and obviously there's a strange emotion attached to that thought that's holding me back from being able to have a higher, to reset my blueprint. But he also said in there that becoming conscious of it is the first step, you know, kind of like becoming aware, or having awareness, you know, is the first step. Because if we're asleep at the wheel or in denial and don't know that we don't know, we can't do anything about it. So the first step is realizing, uh-oh, you know, I need to push the reset button on this. And then there's clues in there, you know, on how to do it. And it'll be fun to read part 2. And, you know, it basically tells us, you know, how the rich people, how to change our thinking, what we should be thinking instead of, you know, thinking things like, you know, they're going to hook me with a sale. Healthier thoughts.
That is so good, because he was getting into, I love having you on, Amber. Thank you. He was getting into, he gets into that about thinking on purpose, you know, about really being conscious of your thoughts, being aware of what it is that you're thinking and you're saying to yourself. There he is. There he is. Did you see him? Mm-hmm. That's my boo. His name is Alexander Vargas, and he's here. Please, come. All right? Hello.
Hello.
Come over here, my love. So, what? Oh, babe, they can hear you. Oh, you can't hear them. I'm sorry. Hold on.
How are you doing today?
We're good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were talking about. He was talking about obviously the money blueprint, and oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I get all nervous when my husband's around. I had a brain fart. I'm not thinking right now. Oh, look, I'm red.
That's good. That's good. That needs to happen.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's because you guys were talking about the money blueprint, right?
obviously.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty much. You know what what kind of upbringing pretty much you had, and what do you think about your money? Like, one of the things that I remember about reading this book was that, like us as growing up, we would always hear like, our parents saying, money don't grow on trees, and stuff like that. So it can develop your money blueprint in a way. Is that kind of like what you guys are talking about, or no?
Yeah, something close. Don't worry.
Yep.
Something like that. No, basically what he was saying was, he was saying how this guy, he came into a seminar and he was like, hey, I already make $500,000 a year, so should I go to your seminar? And he's like, well, I mean, if that's something that you've already, like, there's some people who are programmed to just make $30,000 a year. Some people who are programmed to make $100,000. And the thing is even when they are programmed, like for example, let's say you're programmed to make $30,000, and whoops, you somehow make $90,000 or $100,000. You end up spending it somehow because you go back to what it is that you're used to. And he was talking about the thermostat, changing your thermostat. You got to totally like readjust that baby. Did you guys see the part where he said?
Did you talk about Donald Trump here already?
That was in the beginning, dang.
Well, the reason why I'm saying, because it's just remembering, some people have a millionaire, blueprint of a millionaire mindset, and he was saying about Donald Trump, he doesn't have a millionaire mindset, he has a billionaire mindset.
Oh, he sure does.
So,
His thermostat is set on billions. Oh, excuse me. If you give Donald Trump $1 million, he'll feel like he needs to go on warfare or something. Warfare, I need to go on warfare. Because this is not even right. I like what he says here. Most people believe the success of their business is primarily dependent on their business skills and knowledge, or at least their timing of the marketplace. I hate to be the one to break it to you, but that's la la land, which is another way of saying not a chance. In other words, they acquire all these skills, and yeah, you can get so good at what you're doing and make 100,000. Babe! And make 100,000, but then it's just like, and then you spend it all. You know what I mean? It's like, what do I do with the money that I have now? So that was a good touch on that. Is there anybody else that would like to add to any of this?
Well, I don't know, but you should talk about it a little bit more because Alex is here now and he can tell you all about it.
Oh, what about the part where he said, some men marry some women, right? That hold on, this is about to turn into a talk show. Hold on, wait. I gotta get to that part. Where is it? It talks about the men sometimes just marrying a woman, and you don't even realize that you're doing it because, you're just programmed that way. You don't even realize. I gotta find it, but I can't find it. But he talks about basically what he's talking about is we tend to marry people according to even our financial blueprint. Like if you grew up poor, you marry somebody that really doesn't have a lot of money, or vice versa. If you grew up with money, you marry somebody that is on the same level as you are.
It's kind of like a subconscious type of way, that you don't even know, you don't even think of the money or their status. It's just, I guess, the way that you brought up. So subconsciously, you pretty much, you can be with this person.
That's true. And then you get the phone call from your girlfriend, and you're like, girl, he's broke. You know what? Don't even go there because that's exactly what you did. You chose him, so you stay with him. Okay? You know what I mean? I had
Let me give you a little thought out there too. Our minds, they say that our minds have to be trained like a muscle too, right? Have you ever seen how they train? Let's say, for an example, let's say a baseball player. They will train him to start swinging at the ball, right? And then they will start seeing what he's doing wrong. Then they will correct that swing and start asking that baseball player to swing the ball a certain way. Well, that's called muscle memory. You train your muscle the way you want it to perform. That's exactly the same with the mind.
Right.
If you need to change something, train your mind. Don't keep it in the wrong way. You have to train. You have to train your subconscious. Even that subconscious mind is working on the baseball player while he's swinging the ball and creates the muscle memory, right? So it's the same subconscious mind that will come to you and in crunch time whenever you need it if you train it right. There's no other way to do it. You have to retrain your mind for whatever junk you have in your head and go ahead and do things right. Take out your negativity, replace it with positive thoughts, have better goals in life, perform to achieve those goals, and don't give up until you achieve them. It's the only way to reach what you want. Sometimes it hurts to some people to get rid of negativity because some negative thoughts are so embedded in someone's mind that they're actually destructive. So when you're retraining your mind to get rid of those thoughts, some people will actually hurt, and they don't want to get rid of those thoughts. But man, you have to do it. Some people don't hurt as much. Well, it's easier for some people than others. Regardless of that, what will the outcome that will come out of it is that no matter what, you'll come out being a better person. You'll come out being better about yourself. You'll be better even financially.
Exactly. It's all about training, man. It's like, if I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a commercial years back. You can find it on YouTube, right? It's about Michael Jordan, right? You guys know who Michael Jordan is, right? So
Who's that?
he's a basketball player. All right. So, anyways, if you find it in this commercial, he says he starts talking about, I must have given you the wrong impression about me or something, because you might think that I was born with my talents. You think that I was just gifted, and I must have not been clear with you because you think that everything was just handed down to me. In other words, he was talking to a group of guys, right? But it was very inspirational, and I guess the message was that every day or every hour of every day, what he did was practice, and that's because of that. That's why he became who he was or who he still is. The best ever, right? But it came with practice. It just didn't happen to him. I like sports, so like there was another commercial back in the early 1990s, late 80s. I don't know if you guys remember Larry Bird. He was another basketball player. Mm-hmm. And in the commercial, he was supposed to shoot the basket, shoot the ball, and miss the basket. That was part of the commercial, right? But in order for him, like when they were filming it, he made the basket 10 times before he missed it. So that's kind of crazy, right? Because he was so used to making sure that he made the ball in the basket that for this commercial, his subconscious mind was so set up, I'm always making the ball inside the basket, that to fail, he couldn't do it. It took him 10 times in order for him not to put the ball inside the basket. So all that is training, and just like Edgar just said, it's all in the training of your mind. It's just like a muscle, exactly. You just got to build it and do different things. I'm reading this book right now. It's called The Power of Now. I don't know if you guys ever read it before, but it's like I just finished reading it like right before I got here. Right now, I was listening to it on audio in the car, and right now I just finished. It's 13 chapters. It's about 8 hours long or something like that. But it's a great book. It just made me think totally different about subconscious mind and how can you train your mind. So.
The wealth principle. Consciousness is observing your thoughts and actions so that you can live from true choice in the present moment rather than being run by programming from the past. So it's about being conscious. Andrea, go ahead, and I pass you the mic, honey bunny.
One of the biggest things I have found is that it is so important to surround myself with other people that are working on personal development and the mindset, because you need to be constantly surrounded by it to break out from where you were. Like, I went through a really sucky time where after my divorce, I just attracted, like catnip, all these broke-ass people. And it was horrible, and it sucked, and it was not at all what I wanted. And to change that, I had to surround myself with people with the mindset that I wanted.
Yeah.
So it auto-corrects itself when you go back to broke-ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? And
that's true. Yeah, connect yourself.
that's why I love this so much, because, you know, you're constantly surrounded by people that lift you up and, you know, have the vibration that you want and have the energy that you want and the mindset that you want. Because if you're not surrounded by it, it's really hard to do it on your own. You know, it's like if you were trying to lose weight, but you worked with everybody at a donut shop, like that's not going to make sense.
You're trying to with everybody who's in a what factory? A donut factory?
Yes. Like, that's all they have. Like, that's not helpful.
Go lose weight, go work at Bali. You know? LA Fitness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're right. You're 100% right. I like that picture. I'm very much like a picture person. So when you throw some type of a visual at me, I can literally see it. So I get all crazy. No, you're right, girl. You're right, 100%. And that's why we do these hangouts. You know what I mean? Yeah. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you, John. Would you like to add to that?
Well, you know, I think everything has really been said that needs to be said. The biggest thing that I can really say right now is actually I'm going to challenge everyone that's watching this. Over the next 24 hours, I want you to take and really view or listen to what you say, and kind of put it in a category. Is this a negative thing or is this a positive thing? And then start changing it to a positive and something that you want.
Yeah, I like that. For the next 24 hours, right? That's what you said?
Yep.
Just focus on, you know, I wrote down my 90-day, what I wanted to do in the next 90 days, from here to 90 days. And one of the things was don't complain for 3 months, right? Yep. And I know that Myra and Edgar, you guys are doing a challenge as well on seeking the positive. I know, I see it all over Facebook. You're like, positive something about this and positive. It's like a happy challenge. I don't know what it is, girl. What is it?
100 happy days. You have to figure it out and find something positive every single day that makes you happy.
Yes, I love that. I see it all the time. Makes me sick. No, I'm kidding. When you're so focused on the negative, you know, and your mind, but that's the problem. Your mind is going, you know, but it's good. It's like what T Harv was saying, and John, thank you for that challenge. So for the next 24 hours, I would be, you know, paying attention, and y'all should be paying attention too. And it is 8 o'clock, and I am very paying attention to the clock. And I thank you guys for being here. This is another wonderful session of the Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Ain't no secret no more. We're telling your secrets, little millionaires. We're going to be millionaires too. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here. Hey, listen, I know you see us. I know you see us. We've got the office chairs. We're here. We're, you know, on the computer having a good old time. And we actually offer free training so that you can learn how to do this too. So if you're watching through our 22 social page, you can go ahead and click on that green button at 9 p.m. Eastern, about an hour from now. I don't know what time zone you live in or what universe, but be there with us. And it's going to be exciting. You can learn how to work from home. learn all the tools and everything, and we'll teach you how to change the money blueprint, and they'll teach you the skills, okay? They'll teach you the skills, we'll teach you how to change the money blueprint. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here. It was so, yeah,
The declaration, my friend.
Oh, my declaration. Oh, espérate, hold on. I got to do the declaration. Let me go back to the declaration, my pretty Puerto Rican princess. I love it. Thank you. Okay. All right. So place your hand on your head. Let's see. Yeah, page 47, right? All right. So here we go. You want to go ahead and unmute your microphones. Unmute your microphones.
Here first.
All right. Here we go. Oh, place your hand on your heart. Sorry, y'all. Made y'all look like a bunch of locals. Okay. So place your hand on your heart, and we're going to say this. Repeat it after Midas. I observe my thoughts.
I observe my thoughts.
And entertain only those that empower me.
And entertain those that empower me.
Yes. And now touch your head and say, I have a millionaire mind.
I have a millionaire mind.
Amen, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited for all of y'all to be here. If you want to be on this channel, PM me. That means message me and let me know. I will see y'all on social media. Bye, millionaires. Bye.